This is the only video you'll ever need on commissions if you are a beginner, intermediate, or even advanced. This is arguably the most important video I've made till date, so I need your full attention on this. I would prefer you put it on full screen so that you don't click on recommended videos and everything up until this video is done, at least. If you intend to make money online with your art, of course. Now, the reason why I'm so convicted, so sure about this is because I have tried all these methods. It's not like school where people give you like a formula and this should work type of energy. No, everything I've done here I've experimented with, and I ranked based on how it worked for me. So yeah, let's go. Okay, before we get deeper into this, here's an essential but surprisingly optional rule that big commission artists follow religiously and unconsciously. Your pricing for commission should be $30 minimum. Why do you not go below $30? Is because regardless of your skill, you lower the quality of your product if it's underpriced, and on top of that you attract less than desirable customers, usually, not all the time. What I mean by less than desirable customers is people that have unrealistically high expectations for pennies. Usually these people will have like a standard that they want you to reach that you cannot afford to reach on the budget that they gave you. And to drive home the point that I made earlier about quality reduction regardless of how good your art is, imagine the typical price for pizza is $20 US, and then someone sells you supposedly the same pizza, even better than the $20 one, but it's only $5. Would you trust it? No, you wouldn't. You'll be skeptical as you are eating it if you do buy it. Like, where did the ingredients come from? What is in this pizza that isn't in the other pizza? Like, those kind of questions will pop up in your head. Like, is it even safe? Am I going to get food poisoning? That is what will chase your ideal customers away who would have afforded your services at a normal price, 30 and above. The only way that this can possibly work is if you are a good salesperson. But judging from the fact that you are watching this video, I wouldn't say you are a good salesperson. And that's okay. Neither am I. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into the tiering and I'll put the implementation afterwards. Now I'm assuming you know how the tiering list work. S the best and F the worst. So let's start with method number 1, accepting paid requests. Now this method is an immediate S tier because this is where we all want to get to. This method, however, is reserved for the big dogs, the big artists in the space, the ones that can afford to refuse commissions. With paid requests you have C, which is control of what happens, the entire operation. It's limited, but it's there. You have U for unlimited because your client base is basically unlimited as long as you know how to handle yourself socially, online of course, your media presence, and you remain relevant. Also, you have leverage over the other person because they contacted you. You can always cancel because you have so many people who would be interested in taking their place. Now I know what I said in the beginning about every method I've used. This is the only one I haven't used, and I put in S tier because it's an ideal we want to get to. So how you would implement it in theory, this is the only one in theory. You would just be active online, stay relevant, and maybe just tell people you are available for commission. That's pretty much it. Okay, moving on to the second method, which is a method that a lot of people kind of aim for, which I did as well, so I'm no better than the majority here. Growing your social media presence so you can attract customers, like the S tier one, instant F tier. Now I see your confusion right now after the first method I ranked S tier and then this one right down there. Now, like I said before, this is based on my experience trying to grow on social media for 4+ years. Like, I grew my Facebook from basically 0 to 18k followers, and it dropped a bit, it's 17k now. Then I decided to take my Instagram a bit more seriously from last November, and I grew it from 80 to 1k followers in the 3 months to come. And yes, during my peak of Facebook, I was at 18k. Like I said, I got 0 requests, like 0. Despite the fact that I was posting actively daily. The point that I'm trying to make here is that this method is flawed, very flawed. Like, I've legit seen reels and like posts from artists that are double or triple the numbers that I've did on Facebook, on Instagram, and they're like doing emergency commissions. Emergency, like that's bad. So it's you for uncontrollable, as in you have very little control over the odds that affect the happening of a commission basically. L, because even though you can brute force your way there by trying harder, you have limitations at this point, right? Of course your limits can be expanded more and more, but chances of you expanding your limits during growing, so yeah, you are limited in output as well. And then another L for leverage, because you are giving it all to the person who you are trying to attract with buying. Yeah, the person that you are trying to attract with this method will be distracted by the bigger sharks, the bigger artists. So ULL, you'll hardly make it if you use this as your game plan, as your method. So regardless of this method being an F tier, you might be different, you might be him. So I'm gonna give you the implementation. Basically, you post in bulk. The simplest way to grow on social media now is just post in volume, sheer volume. So 3 posts a day over a long span of time. It's gonna be intensive, it's gonna be difficult, but the results are compounding. And if you are lucky enough, you might get what you want. Okay, next method is DMing your followers, which is an easy E tier. I see some eyebrows raising with this, but this is legit a method. It's just a bad one. But in terms of your chances of getting commissions, this method is above the previous one, which is growth to attract. Personally speaking, I think it leaves a sour taste on your followers' mouths. Like bro, if you're selling something, just announce it on your post and just pin it on your profile. Don't go to your followers' DMs to sell to them. Now imagine the roles are reversed and you begin to follow someone and then they sell something to you in your DMs. You'll probably unfollow them, right? Yeah, I kinda learned this lesson too the hard way, and the thing is, some of your followers won't even respond to that. But yeah, I didn't go beyond 5 though. I didn't like the method. The chances of this working are not 0, so it's worth mentioning. And you have C for control, which is the amount of followers you reach out to. The more followers you reach out to, the greater the chances of you getting a W. You have L for limit, because you don't have an unlimited amount of followers, and L because you lose leverage when you come across as desperate, which is already how you are showing up. Okay, so implementation. You post that until you get followers. You continue to post that while asking your followers to buy your stuff, and you hope you don't lose more followers than you gain. So boo, not best method. Moving on, we have the Fiverr method, which is a D tier. Now if my ranking of Fiverr is pissing you off, you either A, are making a killing on Fiverr, or B, you haven't tried it seriously yet. Now if you are the latter, sit down. And if you are the former, teach us your ways, man. Like, put a comment there that's helpful. We're trying to help other artists out here, so a comment would be nice. Okay, back to the point. Fiverr or even Upwork is D tier because it's very competitive that new users are struggling to get a drop of work. Yes, your first DM will likely be a scam of someone who claims to have bought something from you, but something somehow went wrong. Unless you got like a notification from Fiverr itself, or better yet an email, it's a scam. Also, never give people you don't know an email, regardless of whether or not they decide to like buy from you, because this is where they target you. This is where they make the scams. If someone wants to buy, you give them like a PayPal link or your PayPal name, but like nothing else, or maybe an invoice. But I digress. Now on these websites, your control, to my knowledge, is limited to your prices, the pictures you put up, maybe even a video. Meanwhile, your competition is on a race to the bottom. A race to the bottom is a competition between the sellers, where the winner is the one that's the cheapest or robs themselves of the most money. Another negative on Fiverr is that buyers are bombarded with decision fatigue. So U for uncontrollable, you have L because the prospects you get are limited to the people who are going to give you a shot. And it's very unlikely, considering that if you choose not to be on a race to the bottom, buying from you is risky. Now if you were the buyer, you would likely not take this risk. As for the last L, I would say leverage is a bit more balanced, but it usually depends on your pricing. Okay, implementation. Pick a price somewhere in the middle, mid-range, and offer only one tier. Also, for whatever reason, if you are forced to make 3 tiers, make sure that the mid tier is a bit overpriced. For example, your low tier is $5 and then your high tier is $15. Make sure that the mid tier is not $10, it's more like $13, $12, around that price, to persuade the person to buy the high tier instead of the low tier or even the middle tier. But I recommend going 1 tier because it makes the decision so much easier for the prospect to decide, especially if the core offer is the same. Again, because you are not in the race to the bottom, you have to stand out, but in different ways. Okay, now we're getting to the good methods. Instagram cold outbound, C tier. Now if you scratched your head to the words I'm using, I don't blame you, because I scratched my head first time I heard this before. Don't worry, all the methods here are free. Some will require to pay, but it's not mandatory. Also, if you got this far into the video, I have to give you my heads off because damn, you have attention span. And if you like the video so far, take a breather and like, leave a comment, subscribe, and then go back to the video. Okay, quick plug. If you're interested at reaching my level in art and you like the information that I'm dishing out right now, then you love my school community. This is where I will drop everything without holding anything back. And of course, I can help you better because you can give me more information. I can make it specific to you. And to make it even easier, recommend the best method for you. This already surpasses the implementation tactics I put in this video because I go in greater depth and tailor them to you. And as an added bonus among others, you'll get early access to my videos before anyone else on the internet can get them. And yeah, I'll give you like my processes in how to improve art one-to-one, coaching kind of style. And yeah, I'll share my art processes with you and help you improve your art processes, and all of this for just the price of $7. Yeah, if you can afford Spotify, you can afford to buy genuine years of experience and learn in a few months. But anyways, back to the methods. Now the Instagram DM method is where things start to get good because you have control. You get to choose the clients you get, the prices, and your offer itself. You get you for unlimited because the people using Instagram are in the million range, and the likelihood of you getting to all of them is very low, nearly impossible. You could say the limit here is dependent on how many people you want to contact, but that's up to you, so I'm not going to consider it as a limitation. You also have L for leverage, which is fairly balanced here. Don't be weird with the interactions though. Just act like you would with a normal person. Ask normally, you know, make conversation like about a thing they posted recently. CUL, cool. This method is cool, so this is promising. Implementation, okay, I'm going to need you to take a deep breath because this might be a lot. Okay, so you're going to have to DM 100 people a day who you think are likely to buy from you. I recommend you find someone who has a lot of followers that are your dream customers and start there. Let's say you sell D&D art, Dungeons and Dragons art. Find a D&D creator in that space and then target their followers. It's as simple as that. Keyword, simple, not easy. Next up, Facebook groups. An easy B tier. We're almost at the end of the list, so be patient. Okay, why Facebook? Because basically Facebook has like I think 3 million active users and you have the same control as Instagram. Like choice of clients, prices, the offer, the price, all of that. So you got your first C down. You still have the U or the unlimited factor because a lot of people still use Facebook. And your leverage is actually increased here. Why? Because if you are familiar with Facebook, you know it has groups, so you can skip the 100 DMs thing you were doing on Instagram just by posting on groups with your target audience. So how many groups, you ask? Well, I would say 20 because that's what I did, but you can always go beyond that. Cool, right? And our last method is the method that I recommend to pretty much anyone who asks me about commissions. And it's DeviantArt, which is A tier, more like an A minus. Now notice how the next tier with the last two examples has the benefits of the tier lower than that. Same logic applies here. Yes, it has CUL like Facebook, groups, many users, and all of that. But I have to be honest with you, selling here is a bit tricky since everyone here is looking at art rather than reading what you have to say with your commission post and everything. Maybe you could announce in your drawing itself that you are opening commissions, but I've never tried that, so maybe you might break into new grounds. Oh, side note, by the way, you can get extra monetization features by paying a subscription to DeviantArt, but you can make money without it. Anyways, here's a free and easy option which made me most of the money I've made online. DeviantArt has an art forum, link below. Go to the hiring artists forum and apply there. Basically there are job applications and you just have to be there on Saturdays, Fridays and Sundays. It's open all week round, but those are the days where you get the most commissions usually. It is a bit competitive there, which brings us to the second option, the artists for hire forum. Yes, here too is still competitive like Fiverr, but without the limitations. The only limitation is how much you can post. The rules and regulations are in the first post in the forum, but you get to choose the title, what you offer, your price, everything. You have control of it besides that one, so you pretty much have most of the CUL equation. This method isn't an easy one to make work, but on a good day I got like $80 on it in my first 24 hours. So that finally wraps it up. Links to everything, including my community, down below in the description, and if you can't afford it for whatever reason, still subscribing to this channel will do you way more good. But yeah, see you in the next one.
Overcame.